start recording this. Set some goals and you need to go for them starting today until the end of the month. The Success Club prize this month is access to a webinar again. So that is pretty awesome. Those webinars are always really good. They give you good business tips. I know that Country Heat is going to go on Beachbody On Demand for preview again, and I cannot remember what day it was. I was trying to find that earlier, but I know it's a Saturday, but it is going to go on again this month. I really recommend you try it and you record yourself and you post it so that people can start seeing what Country Heat is all about. And of course, we're getting close to Summit. So you guys are going to be hearing lots of things about Summit. And this is just something to keep your eye on. If you're not going this year, to definitely start saving towards and plan on for next year. My advice to you is to always save 25% of your commission check, if you can, to go to things like Summit, retreats, things like that. Just a little secret, but Ariel and I have big plans for the future for team retreats and things like that too. So tonight, Rhiannon is going to be talking to us, and I'm going to have Rhiannon share a little bit about her story because each of you come into this business with a very unique story. So I'd like you guys to know each other's story. But what she's going to talk about tonight, and actually Ariel had requested this because right now, Rhiannon is Diamond. She's still in her qualification to be a lifetime Diamond. You have to hold any rank for 35 days to be lifetime. So as long as she holds Diamond for, I think she has 2 more weeks, then we're good to go. And she's a lifetime Diamond. So her going to Diamond moved me to 1-star qualifying. So she's that first star on my leg, which is super exciting. And as long as she makes Diamond, then I make 1-star. But Rhiannon actually can also go 1-star qualifying at any moment. She has Nikki on her team that's also a Diamond. You just need a certain number of coaches on each leg to rank advance up. And so Rhiannon, though, has been working really hard. And I think I'm looking at her numbers. I got to check again tonight for you, but there's a good chance she could go 1-star tomorrow. I think maybe if that one coach goes inactive, though, then we're not going to start it. But Rhiannon's been working really hard, but kind of what happened is Rhiannon went Emerald last September. And as I'm watching her team grow, and she's adding these great people, she added this great business builder in Nikki, and Nikki is adding coaches like crazy. And I'm naturally a competitive person. I feel like I recruit some competitive people. And so I had to talk with Rhiannon and said, your team is going to go Diamond before you go Diamond. And it's important that you go Diamond and rank advance, and then immediately you can go 1-star. But, for us too, a lot of times we need to lead from the front. And that's kind of where I was coming at it with Rhiannon too. And I had told Ariel at the time that I had done this. And then all of a sudden we see Rhiannon take off. We see her recruiting coaches consistently. She's adding great team members. She adds her boyfriend and she's building under him. So she did a lot of work in a short amount of time. And Ariel said, I want to know how she did that. Like, what flipped the switch for her? So that's what I've asked Rhiannon to talk about tonight. So thank you so much, Rhiannon. I know you're nervous, but you're amongst friends. Nobody cares. So I will mute myself and I will let you take it away.
Okay, can you all hear me? Okay, so for those of you that don't know me, I think I know most of you probably. My name's Rhiannon Harry. I joined with Kira on her team last July, so almost been a coach for a year. Kind of a little bit about my backstory. I had been talking with Kira probably off and on for a good year before I ever joined with her because I'm a procrastinator. I wasn't in that great place where I was ready to do fitness stuff again. I'd done Beachbody stuff in the past. I did Insanity in 2010 when I was getting married, and it was great, and I loved it. I never followed the nutrition plan once. That was where I always struggled, and I still struggle sometimes, but we all know that. So kind of about my life leading up into joining as a coach. I joined Kira last May in an accountability group, and I did it with Insanity Max 30. If I say a lot, I'm sorry. I do it when I'm nervous. So I did that, and she kind of approached me about coaching, and I didn't really know what to think about it at first. I had talked to my boyfriend, Ben, and he was like, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Same thing that probably everybody's significant other tells them. And I'm like, well, I don't know. So I talked more with Kara about it, and I kind of talked to her about, my past and whatnot, and really kind of explained some things that it just made sense to me. So when, like I mentioned, I was married, and Mike had cancer. And so in 2013, he was we had him in hospice for about 2 weeks before he passed away. And when he was in hospice, he had applied to the nursing program in Gillette prior to that. So while he was battling cancer, doing chemo, doing radiation, he was taking his prereqs for nursing, because he had to have, I think, 2 classes, because he had a biology bachelor's degree. So that whole time he's all doing that, and he got accepted like top 10 out of 95 for that semester into the nursing program in Gillette. And so when I talked to him, and I was like, well, I feel really terrible that this is something that you're passionate about and you want to do, and you're not going to be able to do it. And so I had told him, and I had told Kira this, that I had told Mike that I wanted to do that for him, and kind of go to nursing, do that kind of thing. And it was something I wanted to do as a kid, but I love food. I am currently a chef. I'm currently laid off from my cooking position at the restaurant, but I've always naturally been like that, nurturing, giving, helping personality. So the more we talked about it, the more it just kind of just made sense. And I didn't really know what to expect. Probably like most of you, I was just like, okay, cool. If I can make and pay for my Shakeology, that's great. So kind of got into it more, kind of saw what, the whole deal was, and then kind of decided that I wanted to be able to do this full time, like, most of us kind of do, or some of us don't, and that's great. But so I kind of at the moment have that opportunity to, I guess, do it full time, because I'm obviously not working if I'm laid off. Our restaurant had to close due to some unforeseen construction issues with one of the oldest buildings in Gillette, I guess. So there's that. So that's kind of my story going up into coaching, and kind of why I wanted to do it. And kind of my big goals with it is doing it full time, and kind of emulating the bigger coaches on our team that I'm sure you all see that do this and are rock stars. So kind of to get into the meat and potatoes of the call, like Kara said, she had given me, she sent me a message, probably ish, and she told me that Nikki was closer to going diamond than I was, and that I need to get my poop in a group, pretty much. And I am probably a lot like Kira in this respect, and probably a lot like Nikki too. I am very competitive. I have 2 brothers, so I definitely was like, okay, well, I need to change things up a bit. And I think the biggest thing that I switched up was kind of like my mindset about asking people, because it's really, you get nervous about asking people about joining your business, about presenting the business to them and all that, and A, having them think you're crazy, or B, going, oh, well, they're just trying to sell me something, or any of, those objections that we come across. So I had to kind of get over myself and thinking, they're just going to tell me no anyway. I kind of listen to all the different trainings that we've done and all the different things that you hear about just getting over it. And so I kind of switched up from mostly just asking about challenge groups, that I started kind of leading with asking about coaching. And if people are like, well, I'm not really sure, what is it about? I'd share a video that I had gotten from Meg's YouTube, and probably need to make my own, but I used kind of that as a intro into what exactly it is that we do, and really easy to share with people. And then I kind of just talk to them about like what exactly it is we do, and that we do challenge groups. and kind of just led with that first. And then if they were interested, kind of led with, you know, what exactly we do in a challenge group behind it. And Nikki had kind of talked about that when she had done a call about recruiting as well. And so I kind of just led with that first, and it seemed to kind of work. And I went back to people that I had in challenge groups that I thought would make good coaches, friends that I had kind of had on my dream team, or I thought would be great at coaching, and just went back through kind of people that you've already talked to. You know, if you had challengers, or I had a couple challengers that I thought would be really great at it, that might like it even just for the discount. And so there was a few of those that are like, well, I don't really know if I want to coach, but I'll do it for the discount for now. And so that's always great, because you need those people too. And then I kind of had gone back to people that I had talked to briefly or mentioned coaching to kind of months ago, when I'd first kind of been pushing when I went Emerald. And, you know, anytime you talk to somebody, it's kind of like planting that little seed. And then they sit there and they watch you and they tell you no. They're going to watch you, and they're going to watch and see what you're doing. And they're going to see if you're consistent, like they all kind of tell us, you know, they're going to see if you're going to be that person that's doing what you're saying, I guess. And so let me look at my notes, because I ramble when I'm nervous as well. So yeah, and I just went back through my lists and just took a hard look at people, and like I added my boyfriend, who has been watching me this whole time and was finally like, okay, I think I can do it. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to build your team like right now, because I need it. Because I didn't, aside from Nikki, a lot of my coaches were discount, or they'd been with me for a long time and been coaches, but they weren't kind of actively coaching. They're kind of like the hobbyists. And so adding Ben, and then adding two of my friends under Ben, were kind of what kind of set me to Diamond. So it was a lot of legwork on my end, and talking to a lot of people, and staying up a little bit later than I needed to be, or getting up earlier, since I think that time I was working nights. So I'd get up earlier in the morning and work a little bit more and just talk to more people. I think that was kind of all of my notes that I had written down. So I don't know if anybody has like questions or what else you want to talk about or ask, I guess.
I have a question, Rhiannon.
Okay.
You touched on something that is at the very core of what I struggle with, and that's all those things like they're just, you know, they're going to feel like I'm pushing it. And I'm so afraid, I think, of offending people by asking or inviting or any of those things, that I'm getting in my own way is what I'm doing. And I'm struggling really hard on how to get past that and how to get myself the confidence to get people on my team, or to get people into it. And I've done one free challenge group. It was a 20-day one, 21-day free challenge group. And I didn't require anybody to do anything other than participate. And that's about as much as I confidently can do. And I just, do you have a way that you helped yourself get over it, as you said, and do it? Because that's where I'm really struggling.
And that part is hard. It's so hard, because we all get in our own way. And I think kind of what helped me is I am big into audiobooks. Anytime that I was at work, I would listen to any kind of audiobook that's going to boost you up and give you that confidence. Anything by Brené Brown is amazing. I love You're a Badass by Jen Sincero. Anything like that really just fills you up really helped me, because I'm the same way. I'm kind of that self-doubter, and I get down on myself, but kind of, and this is just thinking of the trainings that I've done, knowing that if you don't ask somebody, you don't really know what they have going on. You don't know their life story, what you could be potentially impacting them by asking. And maybe they're going to tell you no, and that's okay, but you're still planting that seed, and it may never come to anything, and that's fine. But if it does, if you never asked, you'll never really know. Does that kind of answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. I just need to do it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just kind of have to take a leap. Like running my own challenge groups, that was scary at first. And talking to people, it's totally scary. But knowing that you have all these amazing people behind you, that you can ask questions and you have all these different resources and outlets available to you is so empowering. And knowing that you're not ever here by yourself. You're not ever here alone. You always have someone that's got your back. And I've talked to a handful of people that used to be coaches, and they're like, well, I could never get anybody in my challenge groups. I didn't know what I was doing. And I'm like, well, did you do a training? Did they provide you information? They're like, no, they just kind of signed me up. And so knowing that, like just talking to people that kind of have that, I don't ever want, someone on my team to feel like I'm just signing you up to sign you up for my benefit. I want it to benefit them. So knowing that what I do for them impacts their lives is it's a big wow factor. So just knowing that, like I said, that you have a team behind you that's going to help you, and we're all here to help each other, because helping each other out it's a big deal. This is what I think makes us different than any other marketing company, because I see so many people that do different stuff, and I've gotten those messages that are like, oh, well, do you want to buy my product? And I'm like, oh my God, please don't ever let me sound like that, because it's ucky. And I know Kira and Ariel both talk about that kind of stuff, and it just, yeah. Just that team factor to me is awesome. So you've got this, Chickie.
Thank you. And congratulations to your achievement.
Thank you so much.
Tiffany, I'm going to tell you two things too. Rhiannon already touched on one, but if Ariel had never asked you and she had decided for you whether you were going to be a coach or not, how different would that have been? So if she had never asked you to be a coach, would you maybe have never come to this to begin with? Would you have never had the opportunity to help someone else? For me, would I be this close to being debt-free? Would I potentially be a year away from being at home full-time? So if Ariel had never asked me, would I be a coach? I probably wouldn't be, or I might not be in a good situation. If she had decided for me instead of her asking me and letting me decide, who knows what the outcome might have been. Or if she had waited 2 years, if she had just asked me today and I was having to put in the work that I've already put in because she waited for 2 years for me to come around, how different would that be? And the other thing that you need to think of, when you have that fear that you are going and you're asking someone and you think, are they going to judge me? What are they going to do? Are they going to think I just want to sell them? Ask yourself, am I asking this person because I genuinely want them on my team, or I think being a coach could help them or could solve a problem in their life, or, could even be a discount on their Shakeology? Am I asking them for one of those reasons, or am I asking them because I just want them to be 2 points on the challenge pack board? If you only want them to be 2 points, then yeah, you're doing it for the wrong reason. And not that we don't all want to earn Success Club. There's nothing wrong with going for that goal. But if the only reason you're asking them is to be 2 points on your challenge board and to get those points, and you're not really even sure you want them on your team, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. But if you're asking them because they're someone you would genuinely like to work with, you genuinely know they could change someone's lives, you genuinely know that when you see a message from them, it's exciting, or you see them growing on your team, then you're doing it for the right reason. No matter if they say yes or no, if you're asking genuinely from your heart, pay a genuine compliment, like, you're just someone that's great and I would like to work with you. That's about essentially what I told Rhiannon. I said, you are someone that's great. I would love to have you on my team. I think your story is great. I think this is an outlet for you to impact other people's lives. And that's why I want you to be a coach. And that has completely worked out for us. So just think of those things too.
Yeah, definitely thinking like, if you haven't done your ideal customer, which that part I still struggle with, but the avatar for your ideal coach or your ideal teammate, that's kind of helpful, because then you kind of you recognize those same similar attributes in them that you have, and then you kind of know when you click or not. And if you don't, that's fine. But I don't know. I guess one of the ways that I kind of would ask people is a lot kind of, like Kira said, she asked me, I'd be like, I'm sorry. I want to ask something that's totally random and off the wall. Don't be pressured. I just want to ask and be like, have you ever thought about, becoming a coach or doing a home business? sometimes how I let it if they didn't know that I was a coach or not. Because like she said, you never know what somebody's going through and what you can do to help impact their lives. Any other questions?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I want to add one thing too. Sorry, Rhiannon and Kara,
No,
just hop in here, but I think one thing, I totally agree with all of those elements that everyone has been kind of sharing, and I 100% agree with you how freaking scary it is to sort of like put yourself out there and sort of say like, I'm a business owner and I help all these people, when you might necessarily not have had a lot of opportunity or experience helping that many people. Sometimes it's like that fake it or make it mentality on social media. But I think that you have to also think about attraction marketing and being able to build a business to where people are going to be coming to you. So you're not just reaching out to people, so people are going to be coming to you, which I think is more how you and I, Tiffany, have been able to connect and work together. And that means that your social media needs to be consistent. You need to be putting up hooks. You need to be putting up jabs about, how coaching has changed your life and how you're in, monthly challenge groups with people and how you've been able to overcome certain things or grasp certain things. How it's, like Kara mentioned, offering a solution for her family to get out of debt, how it's offered, Rhiannon an opportunity to be able to not be completely without income after she's gotten laid off. And so looking at it as a way for people, because there are those lurkers around, there are those people who are just looking and seeing, and they're just telling you no to your face once you do ask them, but they're still there and they're still looking, and thinking about ways every single week that you can have those jabs and then you can have those hooks for people that are specifically for coaching and for your clients, for your challengers and your groups. And that's all.
Thanks. I actually had a question, if that's okay.
It's not.
Dang it. So there's the pop-up surge tomorrow. Does anybody know what time it's at?
I don't think it's been released. Let me look actually in
I just looked on Carl Deichler's page a little bit ago before that call, and it didn't say. And I saw a couple people mentioning it might be at 6 Eastern Standard Time, but I don't think they knew.
he has an event for it. Just a second, let me check.
Oh, okay.
My gut tells me too it's going to be in the evening because he'll announce it tomorrow morning, but I don't know either.
You know what? Oh, sorry.
Peak is on the 20th. Sorry.
Well,
so you guys know.
The sneak peek is on the 20th. Yes, thank you. I knew it had a 2 in it. He has it in the Beachbody On Demand, the bod before breakfast event that he's doing, which, by the way, actually his little announcement in here says that it's Thursday morning. So it says, June is about to get hot and I'm willing to do the penguin slap and many other country heat moves that I would not normally volunteer in public, much less on Facebook, to prove it. Find out how you can force me to do it on video by watching the surge right here first thing tomorrow.
So it'll probably be early morning.
Well, and someone says 3 a.m. Pacific time? What?
Yeah, they said they thought that they had heard maybe 6 a.m. Eastern time. So
I don't know. He doesn't get up that early. I think he works out at like 5 a.m. Pacific time because he is in California. So it might be 6 Mountain Time, 7 Central, 8 Eastern.
That's not too bad then.
Yeah, he says early, first thing tomorrow morning. So I'm sure it will come up. And you guys can all join the bod before breakfast event, by the way.
Oh.
It's a contest in June and July if you commit to working out every morning. So you can definitely do it.
What if we work out?
What if you work out when?
After breakfast?
Yeah, I don't know. He just does it because this is his whole event And if you guys don't follow Carl Deichler, I definitely would. I mean, his page is for coaches. He's not for clients or customers or anything like that. But he just talks about how if he doesn't do his workout first thing in the morning, it doesn't get done. So he is doing this June, July challenge to, during the summer, get your workout in first thing and have it done for the day. So
Nice.
it's an event. You can join it. It's open. So definitely do. And something else, just so that you guys know, Beachbody On Demand is now international. So this is very key if you have friends in other countries. I forgot that I saw this the other day and I wanted to mention this to you. So you can have Beachbody On Demand customers now that are not in the US and Canada. And before, what would happen is they would sign up and the URL would be blocked. It wouldn't be able to go there. So if you have friends that live overseas, now is the time to start chatting them up and talking to them, because this is the first step to then eventually getting our programs there, which means people can be coaches in other countries and doing things like that. And some of those first people that signed up in Canada that are now like 11-star diamond, 15-star diamond coaches, millionaire club coaches, because they were there in Canada first. And you know, if you're the first one in your friends to talk about something and do it and they all join, it helps you a lot. So think about that. Start thinking if you have any friends in other countries. So
That's awesome.
oh,
I think I just seen that on Carl's page when I was on there earlier.
yeah. Any other questions for Rhiannon before we wrap this up? Perfect.
I know how you feel when everybody's silent. It's like nothing.
I know. I'm telling you guys. No, perfect. I will have this recording up tomorrow. I promise. I won't hoard it for 2 weeks. So thanks for joining, everybody. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to post them in the team page. Start off the first of the month getting your power hour done, inviting someone. I'm going to challenge all of you to talk to at least one person, Tiffany, about coaching, and just report back. So do a check-in, report sometime in the team page this week that you talked to someone about coaching and how it felt, how it went, if you exploded, if you threw up, if they unfriended you, all those things. Well, not all those things. I've only been unfriended by people. I haven't thrown up or exploded. But just know that you'll still live another day. I'm still here. Been doing this for over 2 years now. Ariel's done it for over 3 years, and she has not blown up yet. So I promise you won't either. But have a great night, you guys, and we will talk to you later. Bye.